Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Grundleverse. My name is Grundle, and today we are talking about Action Point. The newest Jackass-inspired film by Johnny Knoxville, Action Point, manages to hit itself in the nuts and slide right underneath the already low bar you'd reasonably have for this kind of movie. Based on the New Jersey amusement park from the 70s, Action Park, the film centers around the actions of amusement park owner DC, who tries to keep the failing park afloat by taking a no-rules, no-speed-limit approach to his attractions. That premise sets up the general Jackass-style stunts throughout, while the story itself tries to also include DC trying to connect with his teenage daughter, who's visiting him for the summer. But at a runtime of just over 80 minutes, the movie never manages to do either of those things very well. The plot and characters very much suffer from lazy writing throughout. If you expect anything more than one-note characters and boilerplate plot, you will be disappointed. The staff of the park are never developed beyond the single attributes assigned to them in the initial introduction scene, i.e. this guy's the brains, this guy's crazy and picks fight, that guy's Chris Pontius. The daughter, Boogie, seriously, I don't think they ever refer to her by any other name, functions as the only character you're supposed to like who understands that the park is dangerous. And the villain Knobloch, who wants to take the park's land, is a cliche ripped right out of the 80s Rodney Dangerfield movies. The only exception is the bear that they trained to drink beer. Bear did a great job. Well done, Bear. All the other characters are so badly written that they're not even worth going into. But Knoxville's character, DC, is worth talking about. The setup of the movie is that DC is telling the story of that summer to his granddaughter, and that's worth noting because it's only in his own reality that DC wouldn't be the villain of this movie. He can spout out about personal responsibility, helicopter parents, and the nanny state all he wants, and believe me, he does, but ultimately, he's a drunk amusement park operator who happily puts the park's attendants and staff at risk constantly by pushing the boundaries of safety in order to compete with recently opened corporate megapark nearby. The movie downplays the injuries to keep the audience comfortable, but anybody who isn't completely shutting off their brain will have a hard time not seeing just how messed up everything is. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? You're supposed to shut off your brain when you're watching a Jackass movie, and that totally works for the actual Jackass movies, but when you try to put a story around those stunts, it just stops working, largely because of time constraints. Normally, the Jackass franchise can rapidly fire off a bunch of crazy stuff without any setup, but the movie isn't very long to begin with, and every stunt that's more than a guy in a bear suit being punched in the nuts requires some kind of story setup, which eats into your ability to fit very much of that into the movie. If you're afraid that this is one of those all the best parts are in the trailer situations, then consider your fears justified. There is just not much in the way of dumb stunts. That's probably due to the fact that Knoxville himself is getting too old to take as many shots as he used to, coupled with the departure of 90% of his usual crew. The only Jackass member who's along for the ride in this is Chris Pontius, and even he seems to be unwilling to do anything more than run around in a Speedo. Seriously, the craziest thing Pontius does is the stunt with the squirrel in his pants that you see in the trailer. I could have given this movie a pass if it was just an amusement park themed iteration of Jackass, but the laziness of the writing, coupled with the laziness and staged quality of most of the stunts, left very little to like. The story is bad, the comedy is bad, the stunts are all in the commercials, there are no redeeming qualities here. All that said, the 8 other people in the theater with me were laughing at every nut shot and blow to the head. Some people will enjoy this, but I think those people will all fall squarely into the obvious target demographic, most of whom will be too young to see an R-rated movie without a parent or guardian. If you are falling all over yourself laughing at the trailer, you may like it, but I'd still recommend waiting for it to hit DVD. For anyone else, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, skip Action Point entirely. Much more interesting use of your time would probably just to learn about the real Action Park, so I will stick a link in the description to an interesting video about the original Action Park. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Hope you enjoyed the review, hope it kept you from going to see Action Park. If you liked this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button. If you've seen the movie and grossly disagree with me, toss a comment down there. And that about does it for me. Thank you for listening. Good night, everybody.